I do want to remind you that we are covering some breaking news of a small aircraft crash in which we have learned 2 people were injured, but thankfully are not harmed at all in this situation. I want to get you out. We did get to talk to the Assistant Chief of Police from the Doraville Police Department, Brian Harris, who was able to give us a little bit more information about what was happening out there.
No injuries to any occupants on the ground from the plane crash. There's still debris that's scattered over several yards, and there could be some damage from trees on top of houses, but right now we haven't seen any substantial damage to any homes from the accident from the aircraft.
From what you've seen, is this a single engine plane?
We know it's a propeller-driven plane. From what I've seen, the plane is pretty badly damaged, and it's really kind of hard to tell how many props are on it. We know it's a propeller-driven aircraft at this time.
We were talking earlier about just how truly amazing it is that no one was injured and that this could have been worse. Can you speak on that?
It is an absolute Christmas miracle that 2 people crashed in an aircraft and walked away from it, and no one on the ground was injured. We're truly blessed, and right now it's going to be up to NTSB to do their investigation as to where it came from, why it went down, and to talk with the pilot. So our job right now is just to manage the scene, keep it contained until they can get on, because it's a federal investigation.
Obviously, with the proximity to the Peachtree DeKalb airport, that we would imagine has something to do with it.
Correct. The aircraft is clearly going to PDK, and as you can see as we're talking, there's aircraft going over us all the time. This is one of the flight pathways to PDK.
And you imagine you all will be here for quite some time?
Correct.
So avoid this area, that street?
We're going to be able to open up the access road shortly once the fire department leaves, because it's about 3 or 4 houses down the street. So there should be no issues with the motoring public as far as access to and from the neighborhood or up and down 141.
Great. And no one was displaced?
No.
From their homes? And in terms of that debris pickup, is that more NTSB's jurisdiction there?
Correct. They have, it's not like we call for a wrecker to pick up a vehicle. There's special removal of aircraft that they have to facilitate because it's their crime scene, so to speak, and they're going to have to remove it on their own.
All right, so you guys were listening in there to Brian Harris, the Assistant Chief of Police from the Doraville Police Department, giving us that little bit of information that we do have now on that aircraft crash that we do know happened in Doraville. So I want to go back over some of the top details that we have gotten at this point in time to make sure that you guys are aware of what we know at this moment. So earlier today at around 9:35, we believe a small aircraft crashed into a tree about 60 feet up in the air and then crashed into the ground in a residential area. This all taking place on Homeland Drive in Doraville. Then we heard that some pieces of that small plane had actually landed in parts of Dunwoody, and so the Dunwoody Police Department ended up joining that investigation. From there, we learned that 2 people were injured in this crash who have been taken to Grady Memorial Hospital and are being treated for their injuries, but we do know that those were non-life-threatening injuries, which Brian Harris called a Christmas miracle, that no one else was hurt, that these people were only hurt and not killed. And so that is what we know so far. We also know that the National Transportation Safety Board has been notified. They were expected to hold a press conference at around noon. It's now 12:06. I'm not seeing it anywhere, but we are sending another team to the site of this crash. We're hoping to get that, maybe that picture live for you. It's going to take a minute for our photojournalists to get out there. But we also heard that the FAA has also joined this investigation. They say that this was a Beechcraft B-90 aircraft that crashed in that residential area. And this is all happening right by the DeKalb Peachtree Airport here in Georgia, by the way. Again, 9:35 a.m. our time, Eastern time, happening today. 2 people on board of a small aircraft crashed and were injured in that crash, have been taken to the hospital, and that the FAA will investigate. They should be posting a preliminary accident or incident report that usually is available within the next business day. So we're hoping to get that for you guys tomorrow if you're able to still stream with us or keep up with us on Fox Local app. We also know that investigators will be verifying the aircraft registration number, which will give us even more information about this aircraft and everything that could have potentially have gone wrong wrong with it. We have a map of this area so that you are able to know exactly where this took place. We know it's near the DeKalb Peachtree Airport, and as we go deeper down, you can see all of the trees in that area. We also know that, again, this was a residential area. You can see those houses kind of littering along 141 out there. Also very close to Interstate 285, and that some of the aircraft potentially landed in Dunwoody's neck of the woods, which is how those police officers got involved in the investigation. Still learning more about this, still hoping to eventually be able to get you a live press conference that gives you some more information about this. But just in case we can, I'm really happy that we were able to talk to you more about what's happening out there, and we'll continue to keep you updated. I want to bring now in our meteorologist, Alex Forbes, who's been helping me break this news to you guys as well. I know we're also talking about the weather forecast, but I want to give you the floor. Is there anything else you want to say about this before we?
Yeah, so just a couple of things from this morning. Obviously, it was really foggy outside.
Yeah,
and it's not going to say that that's the cause of what we saw transpire in Doraville, but you can't be talking about this and not acknowledge the fact that it was somewhat foggy out there, particularly that much later into the morning hours. The other thing I would say, this is very close to DeKalb Peachtree Airport, but it's not right up on it. It's a couple miles away. If you're familiar with the area, it's just north of 285 and 141. Most people know that as where the BrandSmart USA sits, and then of course you've got that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's literally right there. So it's just north of that, and Tilly Mill Road, which has a number I just happen to know that there's a quick trip right there. You get off 141. It's kind of that limited access part of 141, which is right where this is. Point being, it's in a really populated area. So the fact that this happened in that area and only the two people on the plane walked away with minor injuries and nothing else, I mean, I don't know what more you can ask for in this situation.
I'm not going to lie, Alex, that's what really put it in perspective for me. Yes, I was looking at the map, but for whatever reason, I just couldn't completely conceptualize this exact area. But once you're the BrandSmart, driving by there all the time.
It's literally right there. It's maybe a little more. Maybe like a half mile to a mile south of. It's right there where 141 and 285 come together. And then the assembly place is just north of where the Doraville label is, where you see all that concrete and cement. So it's literally right up on it. And, another thing worth noting in all of this, just 2.5 miles off to the west, the King and Queen building, the State Farm headquarters, right? That's going to be that big area that's developed in the Dunwoody, Sandy Springs area. So it's relatively close to that as well. Likewise, you go over toward 85. I mean, Spaghetti Junction's maybe 3-ish miles away. That's going to be right there just inside the DeKalb County line before you cross into Gwinnett. So a very densely populated area. I don't know how many different ways we could say it, but that it is right up on it. And again, only 2 people injured and both non-life-threatening injuries.
So when he said it was a Christmas miracle, that is exactly what he meant.